Steph Curry, the undisputed best shooter in NBA history, and one of the sneaky good ball handlers that we have ever seen. Curry has a lot of championships and accolades to show for, but throughout his career, he has been able to completely destroy and humiliate a number of big-name NBA players. In this video, we will be going over 10 players that were no match for Curry on the court. The first player that Steph Curry absolutely destroyed was Tristan Thompson. It was the 2015 NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors, and Curry was out looking for blood. Right in the middle of the game, Curry eventually found himself at the top of the key in an isolation against Thompson. And it just got ugly after that. He hit him with 2 crossovers, a hezzy, and a step back mid-range for an easy 2 points for Golden State. He was moving so quickly that it looked like Thompson was reacting to the moves, while Curry already completed his next one. Steph literally had him out on skates in that moment. The next famous basketball player that couldn't stop Steph was Kevin Durant. Surprisingly enough, it was the very last time that Durant was ever seen in an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey. I guess this move really was nasty enough to get him to come play for the Warriors. Curry went around a screen from Draymond Green and ended up with Durant switching onto him as the primary defender. Curry took a step back as the shot clock began to wind down, and he went between the legs, crossover, and attempt to drive to the rim. Durant went to defend against the incoming drive, but Steph quickly pumped the brakes and stepped back behind the three-point line, staggering Durant a small bit and giving him enough separation to fire and connect on a triple. If you pause it right when Steph releases the basketball, it is honestly a miracle that he gave enough separation given Kevin's arm length. Nevertheless, Durant didn't stand a chance against the chef. Then we have a clip that occurred in the playoffs as well, with Curry being defended by James Harden while he was still with the Houston Rockets. We should all know by now that Harden has never been known for his stellar defensive play, but neither is Thompson, and he found himself on this list. Curry was given just an inch of separation mid-play by Harden, and he took advantage of it. He made a couple of quick moves and seemingly stunned Harden right in his place. James just stood there as Curry walked around him and Euro-stepped a help defender on his way to an acrobatic finish at the rim. All Harden could do after the first dribble move was stand back and watch in awe as he tries to figure out how Curry ran past him like a blur. It isn't a surprise that Patrick Beverley is one of the players on this list. That's right, the infamous trash talker was absolutely annihilated by Steph during a regular season game. He had tried to knock the ball away from Steph after the whistle was already blown on the play, and the two of them got up into each other's faces a little bit. As they got some of that aggression out, Curry knew that he had to teach Bev a lesson. He came out the rest of the game and proceeded to drop 40 points on Beverley's head. He wasn't satisfied with that though, and got himself the ball with 10 seconds left and a tie game on his hands. He went around a screen and had Montrezl Harrell switched onto him before flying past him and hitting a game-winning layup as the clock hit half a second. Had Patrick never even got into the face of Curry at the beginning, this entire 40-point explosion may not have ever happened. I'm glad Beverley was destroyed though. Sometimes it's nice to see the trash talker be put into his place. This next player was Jaylen Brown. Similar to Patrick Beverley, Brown decided that it would be smart to try to get in the head of Curry. He began throwing some trash talk his way despite being just a rookie at the time, and safe to say it didn't really work out for him. Curry dribbled around, pump faked, and got Brown into the air and then shifted around him to sink a 3-point shot at the end of the quarter. Brown just saw it go in and walked quietly over to the bench, but Curry looked over at him and pointed at him, sharing some trash talk of his own to the young wing. It's like people never learn their lesson. Don't trash talk superstar players, or else they will put you in your place. However, this other famous basketball player didn't trash talk Steph at all, but was still sent to another dimension. Chris Paul and the Clippers were taking on the Warriors and Curry. It was supposed to be a highly anticipated match between the two best point guards that the game has ever seen. Curry had the ball right next to the paint and was doing everything he could to get some type of separation. Curry somehow pulled out a double behind the back triple move, and Paul literally got sent onto the floor. This was one of the few times when a player really does take another man's ankles. I don't even know how Paul had the courage to stand up after a nasty move like that. I would have just lied there until the next game stoppage if I got exposed like that. Seriously, Curry didn't need to go and do all that to Paul. Speaking of Paul Millsap is the player that crossed paths with Curry, and it didn't end well for him. Steph dribbled into the lane with Paul draped all over him. Then he came to a complete stop mid-drive. Millsap couldn't stop quick enough and had to readjust to the most. But by the time he was able to, Curry had already driven right past him and dished it out to a wide open man in the corner for the three-point shot. To make matters worse for Millsap, the replay showed that he was actually crossed over before Steph started to drive, and that he was just trying to catch up to the play, which is why he couldn't stop himself. Man, how do you come back from something like that? Just like the Toronto Raptors were able to bounce back from a Steph Curry explosion. Yes, this next player that Curry embarrassed happens to be the entire Raptors roster from a couple of years ago. Toronto found themselves up a whopping 27 points halfway through the third quarter of action. He proceeded to drop 23 points and 6 assists in the final quarter and a half, bringing the game all the way back to a one-possession affair. Not only did Curry drag his team to a victory in this game, but the team won by 9 points. Unbelievable. This other person destroyed by Steph Curry happened to be Luka Doncic. While he never officially sent him onto the deck or blew him out of the water, he was still able to put together a masterful performance in a clash against the Dallas Mavericks. The two players went back and forth for the entirety of the game, but Curry was eventually able to come out on top with 2 free throws to send Dallas home with a loss. Curry dropped 57 points while Luka put up 42. Steph was on another level this night, and his offensive explosion showed us just that. Finally, we come to the last player that was destroyed by Steph, and that was Ben Simmons. Simmons admittedly hadn't had a great couple of months in the NBA, but this was one of their roughest defensive nights he had to endure. He was guarding Curry as much as he could without getting switched onto another player, and was just cooking the entire Philadelphia 76ers team. Even when Simmons was locked onto him, it didn't matter. He was hitting big shot after big shot, and some of them didn't even look like jump shots. He flipped a switch in this game, and was the only reason that they were even remotely competitive. Simmons did have a nice night, and the team still won, but he is never going to forget the dominance that Curry had over them the entire night. And with that, we officially wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, remember to hit that bell icon so that you never miss another video. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.